so that people can actually, and what's involved in that? It's a small town.
Yes, yeah, no,
It's a
I
very
agree.
small town.
There's some safeguards you have to put in place, first of all,
Yeah.
because now you're really getting into government competition with the private sector. And that's a real hot button issue. So you'll have businesses dropping their plans, but they have a viable option, and they're gonna want to jump on like free Wi-Fi, okay? So we would be in direct competition, basically undercutting, dumping on the market, okay? They can't compete with free. So what you do in those situations is you have like 30-minute resets. You see this in airports a lot. You get to stand up for 30 minutes and then you go down. Well, it's
Right.
annoying enough that most businesses won't want to do that.
Right, but it's not annoying for people who can't afford to have Wi-Fi.
Correct.
Right.
So, but that's something that, you know, once we get things here and established, then you guys would have to work out an MOU with the state and so forth.
I didn't actually get an answer to the question.
I'm sorry.
I don't actually know what the town does right now for their, internet access. I think they go through Baytech or something, I'm not sure, but, I mean, that was sort of my question was like, this is a future thing anyway, but like, I think the biggest problem people have with internet is when it doesn't work, and so then they don't know why it doesn't work. They call you guys,
Right.
and you would figure out why it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, a good example, right now, we actually track it for the schools, okay? So we have an agreement with the schools where we overlap, okay? And every once in a while, this kind of thing happens. In fact, there was a cut with Atlantic. They were doing a good thing. They were up there trying to clean things up and label everything, and they accidentally took you guys down. Remember that was about a year ago or so? And you guys called us. We did a little bit of testing. We knew what it was. We knew the guy that should come in and fix it. And within a couple hours, they were back up there on the pole, had it fixed, and off it went.
So by the same token, you're also responsible for like network security and things like that?
No,
or spam?
no.
None of that?
Internally, that's your vendor, okay? We're handing you a
Okay.
cord to the internet, here it is. And it's gonna be free. Okay?
I have one more question.
Sure.
When you let other providers put their stuff on the tower and hook up to your fiber, your gain is a monetary gain? Your
No.
what?
No.
What, okay, what
It
is
wouldn't
your
be
gain?
zero.
What is your gain?
Our game,
Yes.
a better connected society. That's the only thing, we make no money. The county makes no money off these providers. We're looking to be at zero.
Okay,
We want
and
you-
you're actually representing the county right now?
Well, I'm representing the IT department, and
Okay.
it's an agreement we've actually had in place for a number of years with a particular provider. It went back to a day where it was sort of a barter type of thing, where they provided primary internet access for us. We've long since not needed that. I mean, they're like kind of third on the list for us right now, okay? So they continue to have free usage of our spaces, and we really don't get anything anymore. But we just like the idea that they have a cost-effective way of getting broadband out to the community. Okay, so, does that answer your question?
I'm a little confused, but I might ask you a question later.
Okay.
So, I guess we need an MOU, and that's, I guess we could have it in place. So at the next meeting, we can go ahead and review it.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like the board is certainly in agreement to it, and if we can get something put together, we'll go ahead and execute it at the next meeting. Everything looks good.
Would this be phone service as well as VoIP phones and that kind of thing? Could we save money by
You're
going
going
to
to say it depends again, okay? Okay, so it does depend because the telecommunication company provides voice over IP. Where you can start saving money is, we've done this with the library downtown already, is the town itself could be integrated to our voice over IP network, okay? We did that for them. They were hurting for a phone system. We came in, I actually had parts of my shit, right? So I went and threw it in there, a bunch of phones and another control unit. And we actually even absorbed their phones in ours. Now, I'm not going to promise that.
We have phone equipment already.
You do, but what
Can
you,
you build a phone?
well, that's what we did for the library, and what it means is you can now 4-digit dial. So rather than having to do like usage charges, when you have a business line, you attend to dial, and you pay usage each time on that. When you have VoIP in an internal network, there is no usage charge. So if you had something out here, you could pick up a VoIP phone, and your school out in Galena, you'd be able to 4-digit dial all the way out there, no toll charges, no usage charges. We've been doing this in the county since we put it in 2006. We can call anywhere we have one of these phones. In fact, we have phones on the radio ring out in the middle of nowhere where they just pick it up, they're shooting up over the radio, costs nothing. And these things, I mean, they don't
if I'm wrong, Scott, but this kind of all comes out because we have fiber optics all over through the major arteries and stuff in Kent County, and it's sitting there doing absolutely nothing. And we were looking for ways, the county was looking for ways to make this type of stuff available. But we have to be very careful, as you pointed out, about competing with other companies.
Correct.
But right now, we can help supply this to government agencies and school boards and schools and things. And we have put money in place, I say we, the county, put money in place to get this started.
Absolutely, and so you have basically the highways, the state roads, you know, or interstates and state roads. And now we're looking at that kind of county road, that middle mile kind of thing, where we can lease out, build our own off of what's already been built, lease it out, dark fiber out to providers, and otherwise we'll be able to do it.
And when they ask you what money will be made out of it, when you tell them the answer is zero, that's exactly right. We're not in this to make money, we're in this to provide a service throughout the county.
Correct. About seeing, you know, test scores, go along, businesses stay, you know, every year, you guys, are you breaking even with students? Great. How many years we're hemorrhaging? And so the idea is to stop the exodus, go to retention, and then try and Scott, that all my money.
You did it up here. Yeah, I think so. I mean, so here's, get something ready, and then we'll go ahead and, you know, just paste it online and we'll go for it. Thank you. All right, moving on, next is the financial report.
General fund, $16,216.23. Museum funds, $3,058.23. Utilities fund, $51,716.13, for a total available funds of $70,990.59. Property taxes outstanding, $39,509.89. Utilities fund outstanding, $6,987.75. And services rendered outstanding, $2,869.69, for a total outstanding of $49,367.33.
Any questions on the financial report?
Well, under finances, the only thing I have is a little bit of check for somebody to figure out any questions on the line of credit. And just have questions in reference to the line of credit. Is there any way you can turn the volume up? Have some for the, I'm sorry. I apologize, is that better? I was saying as far as the finances, I was hoping that the attorney, Stephanie, would be here tonight, so I had a couple questions on the line of credit that I want to discuss. So I guess I'll just save that for maybe the next meeting till one of the attorneys here.
Right.
Another question, Ryan. Can somebody explain to us, the sort of financial side of things with this lawsuit? I realize we can't talk about the lawsuit, but how's it gonna get paid for? I heard rumors that there might be some kind of insurance policy or something that covers it. I just, as a townsperson, I'm really concerned about the cost. Is it okay to ask that question? I mean, just simply talk about the finances. Well, it's more of a mechanism thing. I just wonder how, I mean, I'm not gonna talk about the outcome of the lawsuit or the reasons for it or whatever, although I believe that's all very pertinent as well. But think about if there are many appeals, et cetera, this could be very lengthy, and I'm just thinking, how is the town gonna pay for this?
Well, you've got one of two ways. It's either paid through insurance, your insurance company, or if in fact that is covered, or comes out of general fund.
Does the insurance company have a limit on how much they can pay out for a lawsuit?
And that's being looked into. It's a little too early to say.
I'm just
arbitrarily write checks?
Well, obviously, if we have to spend money to represent the town of Rock Hall, then it's gotta be paid for.
Right,
And it's gotta be paid for either through the insurance company
right, I got that.
or. And
So is a vote, does a vote have to be taken? Like, are we going to pursue this and possibly, say the insurance company says, we don't want to cover you. So then, isn't there some sort of a vote to spend money? Or you just arbitrarily spend money with this very special
I
clause?
think there'll be a lot of conversations take place before we start spending a lot of money.
I would hope so.
Are those conversations going to take place in an open meeting or a closed meeting?
Now you're asking the wrong one.
Who do you ask?
You asked the mayor and council.
Well, there's the question.
I know you have to check with your attorney and that's behind closed doors, but when it comes to the money, and not out in the open.
Unless you're spending your own money, it's people's money. Will you have a question and answer for us next one?
We'll see that if we can't have the attorney and the treasurer direct at the next meeting.
I guess I don't understand why we're asking the attorney
Yeah.
about the money. It's about the money, not about the
He
business.
doesn't handle our money. This is a decision that's made by the mayor and council. Why would an attorney make a decision about finances? I mean, this is your lawsuit, you should have the answers. You don't have any answers?
I don't have an answer, it's not.
Excuse me?
I don't have an answer, it's not.
Can you put the microphone closer?
I don't have an answer right now.
When will you have an answer?
I'll start next week.
Okay, okay.
I'll say possible.
Okay, because it's a question that other people are asking, and you should probably clear the air on it.
Okay. So, questions, do we want to make correspondence?
Excuse me, what you were saying something, but other people were talking over you. What was it that you were saying?
Hold the
Did they
microphone.
come to that? I have no problem with it
You what?
being open.
The open? Sorry, it's just, you're open.
Thank you.
Okay, we do have, two pieces of correspondence, I think one will be for the good of the town, and then one will be corresponding, and zoning. So I'll put it on the, police report.
All right, for August, we logged 393 calls for service. I'll highlight a few of those as normal. We had 4 fight complaints, 2 domestic complaints, 3 suspicious person or vehicle complaints. We had just 1 accident, that was property damage only. We only had 1 alarm as well as 1 911 hang-up call. We had 1 mentally ill subject. We assisted other agencies 6 times. We had 19 bank checks, 2 canine deployments, 3 disorderly subjects, 6 disturbance of the peace complaints, 2 fireworks complaints, 4 juvenile complaints, 1 municipal infraction, 156 patrol checks of businesses and residences as requested by their owners, 4 special assignments, 27 stationary speed enforcement assignments, 1 trespassing complaint, and we unlocked 5 vehicles. Again, we had a total of 393 calls for service. Most of that was fairly typical. However, when we get to our incidents for the month of August, we had 12 total. We had 1 for fireworks possession. That was cleared by arrest. We had 1 for obstructing and hindering. That was cleared by arrest. We had 3 for a second-degree assault. All 3 were cleared by arrest. We had 1 failure to obey lawful order of a police officer. That was cleared by arrest. We had 1 trespass on private property, cleared by arrest. 1 burglary second degree, which remains open. It was commercial. We had 2 driving under the influence cases, both cleared by arrest. We had 1 theft under $1,000 cleared by arrest. And under miscellaneous, we had 1 emotional disturbance, which was cleared by an emergency evaluation. So that's 11 out of 12 incidents that came to us in the month of August, which were cleared by arrest. We had for traffic 73 warnings and 12 citations. When we get to the arrests, in the month of August, we had 18 total arrests. I'll go through those. The first being for theft. These are chronological by date. Theft under $1,000, then a DUI, then an assault second degree, then a fireworks possession, failure to obey lawful order of police officer, malicious destruction of property, an assault and disorderly, a theft and malicious destruction of property, a theft and bad checks, another assault, 4 FTA warrants, a CDS possession for heroin, another DUI, a trespass on private property, and another assault second degree. That's 18 arrests in the month of August, folks. We put 3,870 miles on the cars, and we purchased 326.11 gallons of fuel. And that's 11 out of 12 investigations cleared by arrest. And I think that's an outstanding job done by the officers of the Rockwall Police Department. And the man sitting to my right, Corporal Wood, is largely responsible for that, as he is most every month. So I've asked him to be in here tonight while I've read those numbers for you guys.
Steve,
You are always out and about. We always make sure
are we still under some kind of program where kids have to be in off the street certain times?
We still have a curfew ordinance. You know, I was listening to the radio this morning, and they were talking about the curfew ordinance in Baltimore, and I think they're averaging something like 4 a night for the entire city of Baltimore. So
4.
yeah, it's we have a program. Councilman Jones really set us up well with an internet way of keeping on top, or an instantaneous way of checking whether we have repeat offenders and logging it all. But the truth of it is we have not really had violators. So there is a program that exists.
But they're just allowed to stand like around shortstop even though they're not violating anything?
Who are you talking about
I don't-
specifically?
I haven't seen anybody, but it just happened to come to me right now. You know, I'm thinking about the drug situation, you know, and late at night. and kids-
Yeah, I mean, I get all that. I just don't, I'm not, the officers who work at night
I'm not out late at night.
are obviously doing a fantastic job of police
Yeah,
work.
I'm not out late at
If
night,
there's an
so
issue
I
that,
don't know.
that somebody seems suspiciously to be loitering about shortstop, they're
No.
gonna
I
take.
was just wondering if it was still in order. 'cause-
There is, but in as in most jurisdictions, it doesn't seem to be
A
something
problem.
that gets a great deal of.
Well, good. Thank you.
And I believe the ordinance in the charter is 16 and under is Sunday through Thursday, I think it's 9
9
p.m.
o'clock.
Friday and Saturdays.
10 o'clock.
Any other questions on the police report? Okay, moving on to streets and sanitation.
All is good in the street and sanitation. I don't know if this is something that we can accomplish this year or maybe in the near future, but the recycling bins, that we're doing, is there any way that we can possibly move them to another location or move them back? Well, I've had some complaints about them being right there at the convenience where people park, ball games. They say that sometimes it gets a little messy. Cardboard, glass, in the parking lot.
Sometimes go in there with the neighbor's yard.
I'm just thinking if there's any other location